It's Wednesday, December 27th, 2023, and we've got some hardwood action today. I've got a few best bets for you. Let's break it down. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as you just try to get to the bag together and make some money. All right, so over the last few days, I gave you guys a Christmas special loaded with a ton of plays. I'm about to go over that right now. And then yesterday, I gave you guys a quick little 2 or 3 team piece. You could have taken that as well, and you would have been in cash money. So go back to Christmas Day. Like I mentioned in yesterday's quick short, it went 6-2. We cashed in on Murray's points. We cashed on AD rebounds under. Our Swift and Gainwell parlay, no sweat bet there. Heat and Sixers first half under, cashed that. Our Ravens teaser, obviously no sweat there. Shout out to Ravens for getting that done. And our late night tuck me in matchup between the Suns and Mavs also went over. So 6 winners we gave to you guys on Christmas Monday. We did lose on the Bucks first half spread and O'Connell pass attempts. This dude didn't even attempt to pass in the last 3 quarters. Kind of a bad beat. I mean, wasn't expecting the defense of the Raiders to make that many turnovers, but it happens. So 6-2 on Monday, okay? Yesterday, I gave you guys one quick short, and I said I got one play for you, maybe 2. Take the Nets and the Magic on the money line. That would have got you to -115 odds. You could have did that. That would have cashed in. You could have added the Clippers to that on the money line. That would have gotten you like +115, +120 odds. Guess what? That cashed in. So I gave you guys 2 quick bets yesterday, 2 money line parlays. Those cashed in. So over the last 2 days on the channel, we're 8-2. You can see our year-to-date record right here. I told you guys by the end of December we're going to be over 500. We have a few days left. Not trying to give it back too much coin, so you'll see what I do in today's video. But overall, we've been crushing over the last few days, trying to finish off this year strong. We had to buy some gift presents, some Christmas gifts. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. I know I did. So hopefully I was able to help you guys make some money. And now we've got a few more best bets to end off this year. Today's slate, I'm not the biggest fan of. Right now, just all the NBA injury news, people playing, people not playing. So we'll still handicap it for today. Still have a few plays for you guys. Probably going to take it a little slow over the last few days of the year unless just something super big sticks out to me. As always, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate all the love and support. And let's dive into these best bets. For our first best bet of the day, we got a little bit of college basketball action after the students have been off for a few days for the Christmas holiday. And guys, I've been fiending for some college basketball. I love the NBA, don't get me wrong, but I've been wanting some college basketball action. Tomorrow, we've got a full slate, so we only got 2 games on the docket today, so nothing too crazy for us to look at. But tomorrow, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program, so hopefully I'll have some more winners for you tomorrow in college basketball. But I couldn't help myself. I needed a little bit of action today, and I'm going to go to the Virginia and Morgan State game. The last time I pitched Virginia for you guys, right, on this channel, it was a road game. We cashed it on the over as they went down to Memphis to take on the Tigers, and that game actually did go over, barely, but it went over, right? And I mentioned one of the biggest things when I was handicapping that game was the differing play styles between the 2 teams, basically in the tempo and the pace of play, and I mentioned how that was going to be a really big factor. Well, today we have the very same situation, but instead of 2 blue blood programs, we have 1 struggling mid-major program, and then we have 1 team that's been struggling on offense, right? So Morgan State, they like to play fast. They're ranked number 41 in the country in terms of adjusted tempo, but that doesn't really just mean too much if you can't hit shots or if you can't get stops on defense, and we've seen that with Morgan State. So even though they like to play really fast, their offense is not good, and their defense is even worse. Both are in the bottom 300 on KenPom in terms of offensive and defensive efficiency. But the thing is, they have one of the worst scoring defenses in all of college basketball. They have the 6th worst team in the country in terms of scoring defense. They're giving up over 86 points per game. Because of that, not only have the books have given us a huge spread in favor of Virginia, I mean, I've been seeing them as high as 28, 29 point favorites, but also their team total is pretty high as well because of this big disparity, not only in terms of Morgan State's defense, but also because of the huge point spread that we're getting. I'm getting a team total for Virginia at 78.5 points, and for me, I think that number is just way too high. So for me, I'm going to go with Virginia team total under 78.5 as our first best bet. And I'll be honest with you, right? I'm going on a limb here because Virginia, they can't score this amount of points. We've seen them do it in the past, right? We saw them play Syracuse a few weeks ago at home. They dropped 84 points in that matchup, okay? We've seen them play a few other teams this year like Tarleton State. We handicapped them last week. They scored 80 points at home in that matchup. But when you've looked at Virginia over the last few games, their offense has looked really bad. We actually got lucky hitting that over against Memphis because they lost that game 77-54. They only scored 54 points in that game. In their game before that against Northeastern, and that game was also at home. They only scored 56 points in that matchup. So we've seen this Virginia offense can go cold at times. They'll still find ways to win games. Shout out to their patented pack line defense for that. But we've seen times where their offense has gone cold, and to me today, I think that we have a very similar situation. They're averaging 71 points per game at home, so that's underneath this total. But we've also seen that them go under this team total of 78.5. We've seen them only go over this team total of 78.5 in only 3 of the 7 games at home. So for me, I think that this is going to be a matchup where Morgan State is going to try to play fast at first, but because Virginia is just a much better team, they're going to be able to implement their own system, their own tempo, and dictate the pace. It's not the same thing like Memphis playing at home, being able to implement their offense. I think it's different because Virginia's at home. They have the ability to control the pace and the tempo here, and nobody plays slower than Virginia. And for me, I just don't know if we get enough possessions here to get us over this team total, especially when, again, you look at the huge spread. I'm not a big fan of the spread either. I think that Morgan State can cover that. And like I mentioned, they gave up 86 points per game, but I think that number's a little bit skewed when you take a look at the fact that they gave 122 points to Arizona, one of the fastest teams in the country. They gave up 93 points to BYU, one of the most efficient offenses in the country. They gave up 89 points in their last game to James Madison. Again, another fast-paced tempo team. So for me, when they're paying fast-paced tempo teams or really good offensive teams, they give up a ton of points. Virginia is neither of those things, especially right now. I mean, they've had some days off. Maybe they've been able to practice, but for me, I don't think that this is a game that the Virginia Cavaliers are literally getting up for, trying to get their offense back in track. I think they're going to try to work out some kinks, as this is the last non-conference schedule game that they have before they head into ACC play. So for me today, I think this is a game where Virginia just tries to get the win. They try to get it done. They maybe win by like 20 points, 70 to 50, get out of there, get in the win, and then head into ACC play. I just think 78.5 points is just a little bit way too high, considering the fact that this offense has just been so lackluster over the last several weeks and have not been able to break the code offensively. So let's go team total for Virginia under 78.5 as our first best bet. For our second best bet of the day, we're going to go for a player prop parlay here. I had somebody comment on the channel yesterday and said, hey man, when we coming back with the ladder challenge? I'll probably bring back the ladder challenge next year to start the new year. Hopefully start off the year good. I want to get back into a rhythm. We started off this month really cold, so it's really hard to kind of do the ladder because you got to win like every day in a row, obviously, if you're not seeing the board right or if you're cold. And right now, as the whole with the NBA board with all these injuries, there's just no need to force anything, right? So that's the reason why actually I'm only giving you 2 plays today. I gave you the Virginia play. This is my second and my only other play today. Now for added plays, I'll research throughout the day. Click the link in the bio, join the free Discord group. I'll add more plays throughout the day as I'm doing more research, as I see who's playing, who's not playing. But it's very hard to handicap the NBA at this time of the year, especially because guys aren't playing, the people are taking off. You don't know who's playing until 20 minutes before game time, so that just makes it really hard for you to handicap NBA right now. But I do like this 2-leg player prop parlay I put together for you guys. We're gonna go Julius Randle, Pascal Siakam, 2 power forwards to score 23 points today. If they both score 23 points, then we can get to plus 116 odds. I really like that for today's second best bet. Now Julius Randle, you guys have seen him many times featured on the channel. He's a DYF Bets all-star, absolutely been cashing in for us, and we've been riding his hot streak over the last month or so. He's been averaging 23 points per game on 17 road games this year, and he's been averaging 25 points per game over the last 5 games. So I love to see that. All I need to do, Julius, is do what you've been doing all year, and I think he has a very favorable matchup against Chet Holmgren, where we've seen in times past where Julius likes to go at these younger forwards, especially the ones who are just not as strong as him. Right now, if he starts settling for like 3-point shots in those mid-range shades and he's not hitting them, okay, then we're going to be a little bit of trouble. But if Julius is aggressive, which he has been ever since Mitchell Robinson has gone out with that injury and literally opened up the paint for him, there's no reason why we shouldn't see him attack the rim, go with his head down at Chet, who literally has no type of weight advantage on Julius. I mean, he might have the size and the length, but he does not have the strength to keep up with Julius down there. I expect him to get through the free throw line at least 6 to 10 times today, and that should really help us get over these 23 points. He scored at least 23 points in 8 of the last 10 games. You love to see that. We just saw AD score 26 against this Thunder team on Saturday. So for me, I don't see why Julius can't score 25, 26. That's where his line's at in this matchup. But we're going to tease it down to 23. And even though he didn't play the Thunder in 2023, when you date back to 2022, Julius Randle has gone over this total in 4 straight games against the Thunder, scoring 25 or more in every single matchup. So for me, I really like this matchup today. So Julius Randle, 23 points as our first leg of the parlay. Now for our second leg of the parlay, we're going to go Pascal Siakam to get 23 points. And the reason why I love this pick as well is we exploited this angle yesterday when we took Franz Wagner inside of the Discord group. We gave out his points over 22.5. And one of the reasons why I gave you guys that pick, and I mentioned it, was because Washington is the second worst team in terms of defending the paint in the NBA. They give up the second most points per game in the paint, and that's exactly where Pascal Siakam feasts. Over 50% of his points come inside the paint, and for me, I think that's another opportunity for Siakam to feast today against this Wizards team. They played yesterday. Wagner hit his points, so this is the second out of a back-to-back for this team, so they probably are going to be a little bit tired. They played hard in that game against the Magic. They're just going to get it done, and I think Siakam is going to be able to feast today. We saw it earlier this year when he played this Wizards team. He had 39 points in that game. So for me, on the second night to a back-to-back, I got to go with the fresh legs here. I got to go with Siakam here to score 23 points. I think he's going to get it done and be able to go crazy inside the paint there. And then also keep in mind that if you're like, well, Wendell Carter's back, he can help protect that rim. That is true, but it's also on the second night of a back-to-back, like I mentioned, and Wendell Carter's still on that minutes restriction. So if he's still on that minutes restriction, then he might not play that many minutes on that second night to back-to-back. And then we also might see a few other guys like Markelle Fultz play a little bit more minutes, and then we might see Jonathan Isaac get some playing time as well. So those are two guys who should also take away some minutes from some of the other guys. And again, I think Siakam is going to be able to eat today against this Wizards team. He's been able to do it before, and team power forwards have been doing it all year. So those are two power forwards I expect to score 23 points today, and that's it for me today, my friends. Two best bets, not forcing it like I did yesterday, just taking it real simple. We're just trying to cash in. If you want more picks and plays, click the link in the bio, join the Discord group. Don't give me one of your favorite plays if you just want more picks. But for me to end this year, we're really just going to choose our spots. No need to go crazy. We give out 8 picks on Monday, so I don't want to give back too many units trying to chase 3, 4, 5 bets in a day when it's completely unnecessary. Our goal is to finish in the green, to make money, and come back to see another day. It's a marathon, not a sprint. All right, my friends, two best bets for you on the day. Virginia team total under 78.5, and then Julius Randle, Pascal Siakam to get 23 points to get to plus 115 odds there, and we'll cash it. We'll celebrate another winning day. We've been stacking them up on the channel. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going. I appreciate all the love and support. Let's have a night. I'll see y'all inside the Discord. Let's have a night. I'll see you guys inside the Discord. Dictate your fate. Get to that cheddar. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Later, guys.